Social Studies, Unit 2, Lesson 6, Toltec, Aztec, and Inca. The Toltec Empire. When we saw all those cities and villages built in the water and other great towns on dry land, we were astounded, wrote Bernal Diaz del Castillo, one of the Spanish soldiers who conquered the Aztec Empire in the 1500s. These great towns seemed like an enchanted vision. The Toltec people are an ancient people of Mexico. They began as hunter-gatherers, but around AD 900 they settled in central Mexico. Within a century, the Toltec controlled a large part of what is today Mexico. The Toltec culture. Much of what we know about the Toltec comes from the records of people who lived in the same region for many years later. In fact, we are not even sure what they called themselves Toltec. We do know that their capital was the city of Tula. Archaeologists have investigated the ruins of Tula. Most of our knowledge comes from the Aztec, however, who came after the Toltec. The people of Tula seem to have been the first to worship a feathered serpent called Quetzalcoatl. They believed this god left Mexico one day but promised to return at a later time. The Aztec also worshipped Quetzalcoatl. Pictures of this god can be found on ancient artifacts. Around AD 1200, the Toltec Empire was conquered. Again, there are few written stories about them, but it seems that a civil war broke out and enemies took the opportunity to overthrow the Toltec rulers. The Toltec Empire was eventually replaced by the Aztec. You'll read about them on the next page. The Aztec gained power. The Aztec, or Mexica, arrived in central Mexico around AD 1200 and settled on an island in Lake Texcoco. The Aztec had a myth which said they should settle where they saw an eagle on a cactus holding a snake. Legend says on this site they built Tenochtitlan. By the early 1500s, about 200,000 people were living in Tenochtitlan, making it one of the largest cities in the world at that time. Earthen roadways called causeways reached the shore. The city's center had large temples, palaces, schools, and houses for priests. The Valley of Mexico did not have good farmland. This led Aztec to create chinampas, or artificial islands on Lake Texcoco. Farmers filled reed baskets with rich lake mud. Then they planted crops in the reed baskets and tied them in place. When the Aztec first settled in the Valley of Mexico, they had to pay tribute or taxes to their powerful neighbors. In 1428, the Aztec army joined with two nearby cities and took control of the valley. By the early 1500s, the Aztec Empire had expanded west to the Pacific Ocean and south to present-day Guatemala. The Aztec knew how to make objects of gold and silver, but they did not work with iron. Instead, their weapons had sharp blades made of obsidian. Aztec warriors wore armor of quilted cotton that had been soaked in vinegar to make it hard. Aztec culture. The Aztec worshipped many gods, including a war god and sun god, a rain god, and corn goddess. They also worshipped the Aztec ruler because they believed he was related to the gods. Human sacrifices was part of the Aztec religion. The Aztec hoped to gain the protection of their gods by giving them human lives. On the top of the Great Pyramid, Aztec priests sacrificed thousands of war prisoners. Aztec science and technology were advanced. Doctors had medicine and plants used to heal wounds, reduce fevers, and cure stomach aches. Aztec astronomers developed an accurate calendar. A sun calendar was carved in stone with images of historical events. It was also used to predict solar eclipses. Aztec writing used symbols and pictures to record their history, religious beliefs, and scientific ideas. The Spanish destroyed most of the Aztec codices, but a few have survived. Also, several Aztec songs, poems, and stories have been passed down through oral tradition. Mexicans today have many reminders of their Aztec heritage. For example, the Mexican flag shows the eagle holding the snake from the Aztec legend. Aztec artistic styles are still used by Mexican artists. Some people in central Mexico still speak the Aztec language. In fact, the name Mexico comes from the name of the Aztec called themselves, which was Mexico. Mexica. The rise of the Inca. South America is a land of extreme geography. This continent has the world's longest river, the Amazon. It also has the world's longest mountain range, the Andes. The Andes stretch down the western coast of South America like the continent's backbone. The Andes chain is about 4,500 miles long. Life can be difficult in the dry, rugged, and cold Andes. There are frequent earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Travel is difficult. To cross the canyons, early people built sturdy rope bridges. Early farmers in the Andes dug canals to irrigate their farms. Where the land was steeper, they planted on terraces, which are flat areas dug out on the hillside. The Inca capital was Cusco, Peru. Cusco sat high in the mountains at the heart of the empire. Today, Cusco is home to more than 300,000 people. Like the Aztec, the Incas settled in an area that had been home to earlier civilizations. The Inca borrowed ideas from these earlier cultures. Later, they created an empire along the west coast of South America. Inca accomplishments. In 1438, Pachacuti became the Inca ruler. He sent his soldiers out to conquer vast areas. Everyone in the empire worked for the central government. Men farmed and built roads while women made cloth. People were fed and clothed from central storehouses. The Inca Empire grew to include about 12 million people. Cusco became a rich and powerful city. It was the center of government, religion, and trade. Government and religious buildings near the city center were constructed from stone. Skilled builders cut stone and constructed temples, forts, and palaces without using cement. These blocks fit together so well that it is impossible to put a knife between them. The buildings were good at surviving earthquakes, and many of their walls are still standing. The Inca also built thousands of miles of roads. Armies and supplies could be rushed along these roads. Messengers traveled quickly across the empire, bringing the news to the Inca ruler. Children of the sun. The most important Inca god was Inti, the sun god. The Inca considered themselves the children of the sun. They believed that their rulers were related to the sun and worshipped them as well. The Inca worshipped many other gods, including an earth goddess, a sea goddess, a god of thunder, and a rainbow god. The Inca worked rich gold mines. They called this metal sweat of the sun and used it to decorate temples to their sun god. His temple in Cusco had a huge golden sculpture of him decorated with precious stones. The name Pachacuti means earthquake. He was a great general and organizer. He commanded armies, planned harvests, and constructed roads, dams, terraces, canals, and buildings. Inca life. The Inca had 3 rules: Amasua, Amaquela, Amalula. Do not steal, do not be lazy, do not lie. Inca society was strictly organized. Everyone worked for the state, which provided clothing and food for everyone. The Inca emperor was at the top of the social pyramid. Under him were nobles and priests. Next were conquered rulers and chiefs. They still kept some of their power and served as regional judges. The largest social group was made up of peasants. The emperor, nobles, and priests lived on or near the great plaza at the center of Cusco. Many temples and government buildings were located here. Farmers and other workers lived with their families in simple homes built of mud bricks, stones, or reed. Farmers grew potatoes, corn, and peppers. They farmed terraces along hillsides. Farmers also grew crops using hydroponics. This is a method of growing crops in water. The water supplies the nutrients the crops need. In dry areas, farmers used irrigation canals to water their crops. The Inca were expert farmers who fed roughly 12 million people in a region that is not well suited to agriculture. The Inca did not have an alphabet or a usual kind of written language. They were able to keep records with quipus. A quipu was a set of colored and knotted strings. A quipu was about 2 feet long. The colors of the threads indicated news. For example, white threads stood for silver, yellow threads meant gold, red threads indicated war. By tying knots in a particular order, the quipu could be read. The Inca used the quipu records, population, taxes, and events. We know from Spanish records that the Inca created beautiful works of art. Many sculptures were made of gold and silver. The Inca called gold the sweat of the sun and silver the tears of the moon. The Spanish melted most of these sculptures for their gold or silver after the fall of the Inca Empire. A living language. One thing that did survive the Spanish conquest is the Inca language, Quechua. While a large number of people in the Andes speak Spanish, millions of people in the Andes region continue to speak Quechua today. Speakers of Quechua live in the South American nations of Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. All right, let's look at our homework. Number 3. How did technology help the Aztec and the Inca build large empires? Hint, technology is any tool that they created or used to help them. Think about the language, the art, the materials, the religion, the farming, etc. How did all these things work together to help the Aztec and Inca build large empires? I want you to write a paragraph.